We're here with TheWolverine.com Chalk Talk, and Coach Hanlon, Jerry Hanlon, with us today. I'm John Gorton. I tell you what, Coach Hanlon, a lot of excitement in that Ohio State game, came right down to the end. We're going to talk about a couple of things today. Not only the gashing of Michigan's front by the running game of Ohio State, but when it came right down to that final play, and we're going to take a look at that two-point conversion.
Well, we'll try to point out, if my memory, which is not very good anymore, John, but if my memory serves me, I'll try to show a little bit of things that I saw that happened in this particular game that caused us to be gashed on the defensive side of the ball and what happened on the two-point conversion play. So we'll try to point out a couple of things here.
All right, let's go to the defense first, because that was something that people noticed that Michigan really all day never was able to stop that Ohio State running game.
Well, they did some pretty good job. They stopped on several occasions, but the fact is that we were getting gashed on a couple of situations. And what we're trying to do with our defense is, because we got some quickness and movement up front, we're trying to move the defense. And so sometimes when we do that, you must play a really good technique or you cause problems for yourself also. In other words, if they're running a play to the right here, now the formation strength is to this side, but our defense, of course, looks strength to this side. So in order to accommodate for that, they actually will slant the defense back. This man will line and he'll slant and try to get into that gap there. This man will play up. He will cross and try to get into that gap there. Therefore, our linebackers, knowing that they're doing that, want to be able to cover this side, but they also know that if they get a lot of action this way and the ball goes, they have to flow to this side. So when they're playing this type of defense, what's happening is, on a couple of occasions, not all the time, but some of the big gashes, when this man started this action, and this guy started, they were going to double team and come off on the linebacker, but when this happened, this guy would cross his face, he would pick him, and we picked him. Instead of him getting up into this whole area here, he was getting pushed clear over to this side by the block of that tackle. So now you created a big seam between he and your next down lineman. So that was a big area. Our linebackers were trying to get up into the line of scrimmage, but when we do this, when you go start up, now you get caught up in stride, and so when you angle of pursuit comes, you're coming like that from the side. So when he handed that ball in that fashion there, you can see that as this guy went on across, he moved, this guy came up and picked your backside linebacker, he picked the linebacker, and these guys would pick here, and so as they would come off, they would be coming from a lateral move. And when he came through here, they're tackling him from the side, instead of not coming flat and being able to attack like that, so that you hit him head on and slow down his rush. When you hit from the side on a big guy, he's going to carry you for extra yardage.
I was going to say, you said that of all the guys you don't want to try to come from the side on, it would be a guy like Carlos Hyde.
Oh, absolutely. A big back who could run hard. And the fact is, when you hit from the side, he's going to continue to get yardage downfield. And when you hit from the side and you miss him, boom, he's way downfield. So that's some of the problems I thought we did a little bit because of the angles and slants that we were doing. We have to learn when we slant, if you take that area, you get up here and keep this area closed down so you don't have a big hole in this situation. This man could be coming inside also, but they get turned or get blocked out. But you create an awful big hole for your linebackers to fill.
In other words, even if you are angling, don't get taken farther than you want to go or should go.
You angle and penetrate. As you angle and then upfield. Angle and upfield, because now you can slide this way because you've got the block beat here. If the ball's going there, you can slide that way and make the play. But if you go here and the ball goes there and you get pushed, you just create too big of a hole.
Okay.
And it makes it awfully hard for your linebackers.
All right. Well, let's talk about that fateful last play of the game, because, well, Michigan's last play offensively of the game. Chance to win it. It's all right down to this two-point conversion attempt. Explain what you saw.
Well, I think they anticipate, a lot of times they anticipate man-to-man coverage down in this situation. And the first thing that I noticed that when we started with the motion, or the wide receiver to this side, and then as he came across in motion, when he did that, they slid the linebackers. And this linebacker normally came out here and played in this area. The two safeties moved, and the halfback was already out here. So you already have 1, 2, 3 taking care of these three, plus an inside safety to take anything that comes across the middle. So as the ball is snapped, then they're going to pressure up front. This man has slid into here, and he's now going to be taking that tight end there in case he comes out for a pass. But as we started to release, the inside receiver, the first receiver went down and into the middle. Our second receiver was going to go out and then allow this man to come in and work on whoever was covering him to work inside or outside to have the ball thrown to him. And so what happened was, when he came off, this man released, but he released right into a safety and another linebacker, which kept him pretty well covered there. When this man tried to release, he got jammed, and he got held up in here and never got any farther down than about that area. So now when Dilio comes down, there's no room really to operate, because you've got a safety here, you've got a halfback here bracketing, so there's no way to go deeper inside. And so when he came down, he had to kind of just sit in that area. So when the ball was thrown, here's this man coming right underneath and making the play. So they went to more of a zone coverage down there, and this play isn't quite as effective against zone as it is against man-to-man. I know everybody said, well, somehow or other you got to try to throw it, but they did have an awful lot of coverage out there in this particular play.
Best case scenario for this play, even when they were lined up that way, I'm hearing from your words, would have been for this guy to get free and release farther to the corner, or at the very least create more space by being out of there for Dilio to operate.
Getting depth would have moved the safety and this man by getting out and getting into that area. It would have brought it. Now he can work one-on-one against that guy. But in this case, he didn't get the depth and didn't get out of there, so it just kept it too conglomerated, if that's a good word. It kept it congested in that area, and so that's what really happened. I just look to here now and see this and look at it. How would you like to run? Well, I'm not going to get into it.
That's Coach Hanlon thinking about what he want to run.
That's second guessing, and you shouldn't second guess, because you don't know what's going to happen. After it's all over with, yeah, I should have did this. Well, I'd have made a living all my life if I'd have been able to do the things I should have done, and after I knew what I didn't do was wrong.
There you go. Well, we thank you for joining us all year. We'll look forward to taking a look at some things in the bowl game, pre and post as well, but appreciate you joining us.
Well, let's hope we get a good bowl bid, and the kids get an opportunity to go and enjoy the trip as well as play a good football game.